for a mere pittance of coin, I might summon the worthiest among them to lend aid to thy under... If thou art...
Trader has no problem with you inspecting these goods, so long as you're...
Things have stayed interesting.
Ready and willing.
Well, that ends not as well as it could have.
Dragons overhead. Stay low.
Fall back! Fuck Matthew! Leave him be! We have to keep running! Mindful. It's over.
There's a glimmer of something beyond his word.
desire.
Shouldn't have wished to live in more interesting times.
Attention!
Elminster's not around, so it might as well. You have my attention. Stem. A bit higher. Should be able to climb it.
Nautiloid. Need to get to the brain. Now.
Let's get going.
Careful, I lied. A crooked touch.
You will bleed for her glory.
Sliced and burned, dashed and
God, the dragons will burn them to ash.
salutations.
Still alive. So that's progress.
I applaud your taste. Can't you feel it? We're almost there. Once we ascend the Netherbrain stem, we'll be in touching distance of the crown. But reclaiming the powers of Carsus himself. I'm ready. Are you? Then I think it's about time we ascend.
The site of power. The site of domination.
Looks like that crown could use some nether stones. If these things were ever going to work, it's now.
I know you. I saw you in my dreams.
I know you. I know everything about you. Your thoughts, your feelings, your weaknesses. And so do they.
No rest for the wicked, I see.
We need to reach the core of its will. Get as close as you can to the crown, and cast the spell to compel it to submit. Veniet Jura!
Ready for another round? Covered.
down.
Surrender. You have already failed.
Forever, pal. You feel it. A sudden shift. The brain is weakening. Its grasp of its... Even bound, its will is stronger than anything you've ever felt.
Its will is weakening. Let's finish this.
Wretched thing! Time to die! Come on then.
This is it. Its will is weakening.
Will not enter.
Impossible! Pain! Fear! Terror! Reconsider! Assess! Implore! Surrender!
Subdued. At last. This is its death rattle.
Spare me. Join me. Wield me! Become absolute!
This is it, soldier. This is what we fought for. Time to end this thing.
The brain is on the cusp of its final thought, and it's taking all of Karlach's strength to keep it there. An opportunity, perhaps.
It can be ours, my love. The whole world. We only have to take it.
No more tadpoles, brain. It's time to die.
My master. I must obey. I must end.
Hopes, night nightmares and the screams of legions upon legions of unborn iniquids. The pain rips through you, obliterating all thought, all feeling. Your tadpole burns in your brain. Silence. For the first time in a long time, your thoughts are entirely your own. And then, gravity. Everything you did, everything you sacrificed, it was worth it. For this.
The loss of a mind is a terrible thing, but this time, I think I'll make an exception.
My powers, they're draining. Just like Mazora said they would. A small price to pay in the grand scheme of things.
We're free of that stupid parasite! And I'm free to enjoy all the power Cazador left me.
Against all odds, we cured ourselves. Free from the parasite. Free from the prospect of ceremorphosis. I can hardly believe it. We will not become accursed Illithids. Not to cast any slight on you, of course. Your present form is but a sign of your gallantry.
It's all right. I knew what I was doing.
I will ensure that all Githyanki know your name and your sacrifice. What you have done today will start a fire that rages across the astral plane. With their lost prince returned, my people will burn away Vlaakith's corruption. And it is all thanks to you, the Illithid who defied a Netherbrain.
I did, didn't I? I saved the fucking world. And I think I might live long enough to tell the tale too.
I thank you, my liberator, my savior. My people are leaving, and I must leave with them.
Julas!
Farewell, Gestil, my liberator.
With the Githyanki gone, there's nothing left but the silence of the city, smoldering, waiting to be rebuilt. But it seems that Gale's mind is elsewhere.
The crown. It's somewhere in the Gionthar. If I salvage the stones, I can reforge it. With the crown in my hands, I would be unstoppable. The casts I weave would be mine to command. I would be more than the greatest wizard who ever lived. I would be a god. It's I who should be saying such things. Do not think I leave you without a heart as heavy as your own. I owe it to myself to follow where destiny leads. I'll never forget you. That I promise. If you ever felt differently, there'll be a place waiting for you in the heavens.
I swear, you ascend to unprecedented power one time, and then suddenly everyone's doing it. I do wonder how he'll fare when Mystra decides to crush him. It could be quite the show. But enough about the wizard. Let's talk about us. So, what's next? Something fun, I hope.
Excellent. Let's see if the elf song's still standing. Their Golden Sands brew goes down real easy.
It's over. And it's all because of you. You who were destined to become a thrall. Thanks to you, there will be no Illithid empire, no death god's tyranny. You have earned your place amongst the legends of the Sword Coast. You are the saviors of Baldur's Gate.
It feels so good. Freedom. True freedom. Finally, I can feel my strength growing. Every day that passes, I gain new abilities. You know, now that our enemies have fallen, I might be the most powerful person in the world. And as you're my consort, that makes us the most powerful people in the world. My love, you always know the right thing to say. The world is ours for the taking. So, what would you like? Then you shall. We'll travel the lands together, tasting everything Faerun has to offer. Perhaps we'll find somewhere we'd like to stay for a century or two. Perhaps not. We have a beautiful, bloody future to look forward to, my love. I can't be sure what it holds for us, but I know one thing. This is going to be fun!
6 months from the fall of the Netherbrain, you and Astarion were hosting a grand masquerade in the refurbished ballroom of Cazador's palace. A young elf wearing an ivory mask in the guise of a skinless skull handed you a note as he passed you in the crowd. An invitation written in a frail hand, inviting you to a gathering of the friends and allies who stood with you against the Absolute. Astarion pouted when you read the invitation to him. He'd gladly accompany you, but he would have been happy to host the party himself. As it is, you'll gather in a familiar place, and one altogether more suitable for your reunion.
Thou wert called here, some from above, some below. For with thine bond, together thou hast kept the wheel of fate spinning when it threatened to halt. Though thou wert drawn far apart in the months after the collapse of the Absolute, tonight fate renews thy bond once more. Thou shouldst take care to preserve it. It is a great weapon wielded in the hand of good. Go. Know one another once more.
You made it. Lady Shah's blessings to you. Or perhaps you don't need them. You look well. Very apt choice of words. But it doesn't just go for me. Lady Shah's entire church prospers. The Absolute washed the Sword Coast with blood and tears. It is now fertile ground for her message to flourish. Broken hearts, shaken faiths, refugees without homes, former cultists without purpose. They can all become the Night Singer's children, with the right nudge. You should see how they flock to us. We spread like the night sky chasing the sun below the horizon. Thank you. But enough of that. I won't have it said that I'm not capable of enjoying a fine night with good company. Tell me what you've been doing. I won't pretend I'm not a little jealous. Lady Shah is a demanding mistress, as is her right to be. But a little calm and solitude would be a tonic. I suppose you'll be keen to do the rounds, with so many old acquaintances gathered. Do not let me hoard your time. But don't be such a stranger, either, in future. You know where to find me. I can always make some time for an old friend. One of the privileges of being in charge. I've got my own private wine cellar now. I'll keep a special vintage aside for your visit. All-consuming. Endless decisions to make, underlings jockeying for your attention, threats from the outside, threats from the inside. There's times I miss when it was just our little group against the odds. Simplicity is a luxury that's drifted out of my reach, I'm afraid. But at least for tonight, I can have a taste of how it used to be. Almost as busy as I am. Such rapid growth creates a good deal of work for a quartermaster. So many lost souls in need. Sometimes she fears the others will grow jealous, but I see her as a favorite. Well, it's true. I do. They can challenge me on the matter if they dare, though none are so bold.
Ah, soldier. How glad I am to see you again. I'd started to wonder if I ever would. I'm sorry I haven't reached out. I guess I wasn't sure what you'd make of me. I've changed so much. But then again, you have too. Stubbornly yourself, aren't you? I suppose I used to be too. But this evolution has shown me parts of myself I never knew existed. For example, my favorite food used to be mutton chops. Do you know what it is now? Brains, soldier. Brains. I thought I was good at cracking skulls before. Now I've got it down to something of a science. Or maybe more of a religion. I've made arrangements with a healer in the city. When a patient is beyond saving, but still able to speak for themselves, they're offered a choice. They can go as nature intends to take them, or when they're ready, when their goodbyes have been said, their affairs settled, and all that awaits them is pain, I relieve them. When I consume their brains, I am nourished by much more than the physical nutrition. Their memories, from birth to death, become part of me. I've lived hundreds of childhoods, first loves, marriages, feuds, and friendships. I remember them all. And in this way, we all live on together. Thanks, soldier. It's good to see you looking so well. Enjoy the night, my friend.
Ah, my dear friend, it's been an age, has it not? Our skeletal friend will be very pleased to see I found my way here, despite my invitation getting lost in the post. Oh, I wouldn't bother you with such things during a party. And anyway, I've gotten quite good at replicating your signature, so you needn't even bother with the release form. You might help me with the title, though. I'm considering The Hero and Me. What do you think? Oh, that would be telling, wouldn't it? But believe you me, my friend, not a word could have been written without you. Perhaps, once the manuscript is finished, you'd even be willing to write a foreword? Or better yet, I'll write a draft and you could just sign your name. Better still, I'll sign it for you. Hmm? Ah, your success really has been wonderful for my reputation. But you mustn't let me hog your attention all night, my friend.
And how have our dear friends been without us to guide and protect them? Really? Are you sure? I was certain they'd be half dead and begging us to take them back. Well, miracles never cease. Still, it is good to see them. And good for them to see us, side by side, flourishing. No, I can see more than but you should go. And if our friends drop any interesting secrets, bring them, right? Until then, I'll be here. But don't fret.
There you are. I was hoping you'd make your way over.
Goodness. Was Faerun always so dull? Still, at least the company was worth the trip, if not the view. I told you I would, didn't I? I imagine you're wondering how all this came to be. The finer points of divine ascension are beyond mortal comprehension, I'm afraid, but I can provide a rudimentary sequence of events. First, I retrieved the crown of Karsus and reforged it using a series of precise and highly complex Netherese incantations. Then, I used it. As you know, the orb within me was the half-formed Karsite Weaver. Magic left incomplete by Karsus' self-destruction. I finished it. Using the Crown of Karsus, I turned it into a new form of magic, fused with my being, driven by my purpose. And then I put it to work. As expected, Mystra was unwilling to hand over the reins of the weave, so I've claimed dominion over another area which I've passing familiarity. Ambition. I don't recall saying that I'd given up. I confess, I expected Raphael to come knocking with that infernal contract we signed. But, strangely enough, he never showed his face. Intimidated, no doubt. I can say this much for now. Mystra is welcome to her dominion. My aims are set a little higher than offering cursory blessings to just any half-decent spellcaster. I exist, not to bestow favors on my followers, but to inspire them to seize their destinies for themselves, exactly as I did. I'm their proof. Proof their hopes are not barren wastes, but the loamy soil in which their future achievements will flourish. Proof that with ambition, anything is possible. Theo would prefer to let the cosmic dust settle from my unexpected ascension before considering my right to grant my followers such power. I'm sure it'll come around in a millennium or so. And by then, my creed will be something to reckon with. There are already several shrines in my honor scattered across the outer reaches of Thay, and rumors of a very prominent temple under construction in Arm. This is only the beginning. Don't worry. With the ambition you hold, you'll never be too far from my sights. Pursue your dreams, and keep me in your prayers, and who knows? They might just get answered.
The day I pray to you, Gale, is the day up is down, left is right, and Tressim's are cats.
So very stubborn.
And don't you forget it.
Mustn't think about any of the locals.
It's quite something, isn't it? Fear not. That tingling sensation is merely your body's way of alerting you to my presence. It's perfectly harmless.
Well, there he is. Gale and all his the god of ambition. Have you ever heard anything more ridiculous? Ambition, aspiration. The Gale I knew wasn't like this. He recognized his mistakes. He was contrite. All he wanted to do, unfortunately, he fell into company that turned his gaze toward foolishness. Yes, I mean you. Then you're just as mad. I know there's nothing you could have done to stop him. Not really. Perhaps you'd be willing to come meet Gale's mother sometime? She misses him so. And I know it would do her heart jolly good. I'll tell Mrs. Dekarios to be expecting you. Oh, enjoy your party, dear.
mutton chops no longer hold any temptation.
You would think someone of my vintage would be inured to the passage of time. Yet these past 6 months have seemed endless without your company. But now, our paths... just as I hoped they would, more like. It is one that can weather any distance. Any passage of time. I know it can. I always do. Should I ever declare... That was more than worth the wait. Rest assured. Now, we have much to catch up on. Do not allow me to ramble on. I am eager to hear all you've been doing. Please, spare no deed. Their appetite for bedtime tales is greater than I... They have all but exhausted my repertoire in but a few short months. No mean...
Withers has quite a nose for fine vintages. Well, in a manner of speaking. His actual nose must be a distant memory by now.
I should take a tour. Just to see what the rest are up to.
Gods, it's so good to see you. It's been far too long. Hold on a moment. Do you smell that? Oh, how right you are. And how wonderful it is. I've had so little time for simple pleasures like this in the 2 months past. Turns out, rebuilding a city requires more than a simple wave of a duke's hand. Bargains must be made. Alliances must be forged. Customs must be considered. Father leaves me to my own devices, though he's got no shortage of advice when I ask for it. Still, I make the decisions I see fit. The ones I think will restore the city to glory. I serve only Baldur's Gate, not a devil of the first hell. Father's very well, and back in his element, commanding the Flaming Fist with as brave a heart as ever. Floric, bless her soul, convinced him to withhold the lashings and scoldings, though I know he was tempted. The likes of Gortash can bend people's minds with a few chosen words. No tadpole needed. Bane's Chosen primed the Fist for a war they weren't meant to win. He convinced them there was an assassin hiding in every shadow, that cruelty was the correct answer to crisis. With a few exceptions, Father's pardoned every last Fist. If my forgiveness not be Tyr's will, so be it. I shall forgive them all the same. His words, not mine. He still believes in the bow and the blade, but with Floric's help, he's teaching the Fist a new lesson. Valor is found not in the wounds you inflict, but in the lives that you have bettered. May they all take it to heart. I've had more than a few challenges, given the horns sprouting from my head. The people know me as one of the champions who saved their beloved city. They know Ravengard blood flows through my veins. The patriarchs, the aristocracy, the councils of Waterdeep and Arm, their arms aren't so wide open. Still, there's no friction that can't be greased with a sly promise or a proposition. Disbanded, to be formed anew. I don't expect a soldier or street sweeper to see through the schemes of a tyrant like Gortash. But the city's lords and ladies were all too eager to abandon their oath. My father, older Ravengard, is now Grand Duke of the... Floric is now Grand Duke of the Crossing. And I am Will Ravengard, Grand Duke of the Worm, Heart of the Gate. We will yet be four. Until Baldur's Gate is nothing without its citizens, both in the upper and lower. Our duty is to them, and only them. The jewel of the coast will shine ever. We are building new housing. Amazing what can be done when Parliament and the... I'm sure the Silver Shields can make do without a few more jeweled crowns. Of course. Never. The hexes and eldritch blasts, losing them took getting used to. They left behind a... So I stoked a new one. Now the burning comes from within me, not from the depths of Averna. I've missed you too. If I had to do it all over again... Go on, the night's young. Or waste a single drop of water.
Oh, hello. Let me guess, you've got some suggestions about the music choice. Go on then. What should I play? Fine. Come now, out with it. Would be a shame to leave a party like this bereft of music to Millil. Though if the lack of... Apologies. I think I got a mote. Carried away there. You're hardly to blame. You just want to change up the music, I wager. You know. Finally! The scribe picks an adventurer of substance, of culture. What can I do? Your wish is my... etc. Interest. As long as they're not doing too...
Lady Shah has blessed us with a fine meal. Just a little wickedness shy of being a nightfall ritual.
It's quite something, isn't it? Fear not.
A night without care. No worry, no obligation. It's been too long.
We have an eternity for chit-chat, my love. The...
He snaps the air and wiggles. He's either miming fighting a many. He is, however, exhausted. He's had plenty of adventures without you. The joy in the owlbear's eyes.
Hello again. Beautiful.
There's something strange in your old friend's mouth. What is it? A familiar invitation. He wants you to throw the object he's dropped. But it isn't a ball. He whines. Less talk, more throw. Scratch barks merrily and...
What a lovely occasion this is.
This is nice. A little tame compared to all of my parties, but it has a quaint charm.
This one night is like any other, and yet different. Thou art the savior of Baldur's Gate, until such time it requires saving again. How dost... If thou could only see the paths of fate untaken, thy mind would surely break. Enjoy the revelry of the day. What indeed? Prick up thy ears and listen. The balance of the world restored. The balance of these lives, mortal and otherwise, brought to account. Hear me, thou heroes, wastrels, friends. I have waited long to tell you these words. It is over. For now. Thou played thy part in weaving the fabric of fate itself, but for every thread you sewed, so did the gods unravel another. Sleep, rest, revel, but be ready. For thou mayst yet be needed. Until we meet again, I wish thee every possible fortune, health, wealth, love, and above all, problems worth solving. To you. There thou art, the dead three. Thy faces gods, thy actions barely worthy of the name. Didst truly believe thy ploy would succeed? Didst believe I would not notice? Thou soughtst to bolster thy strength by taking away the souls of mortals. But souls vanish when their hosts become mind flayers. Didst think the other gods would not notice? Gods thou may be, yet thou hast proven thyself fools, everyone. The supplication of Bane, the whimper of Baal, the death mule of Merkel. Felled by mortals, I overestimated thee. They did not. Vermin, away. Thou wilt trouble us no more.